I think a very important part of trying to understand and integrate one's thinking about the world is to recognize that explanations that take place at different levels can be simultaneously valid. So what I mean by this is science tends to adopt a reductionistic policy. In other words, it tries to explain higher level or more complicated things in terms of lower level, simpler types of things. This is a very successful way of trying to understand the world, and it underpins much of what we do in science. But the important thing to recognize is that having a lower level explanation of something does not explain away the significance of that phenomenon at a higher level. And yet people often argue and speak as if it does. Okay? So, I mean, the way I try to illustrate this is in terms of the human person, myself, if you like. So I would say, yes, I am an assembly of electrons and quarks, which of course is the, in a certain sense, the most reduced level that physics would talk about. But I'm not just that. I'm also, an assembly of a variety of different chemical species, carbon and oxygen and nitrogen and calcium and so forth. I'm also a biochemical factory, which is governed by, the elements of DNA and the cellular mechanisms. I'm also an animal, a mammal actually, with hair and with warm blood and so forth. I am also a person with desires and loves and fears and experiences. I'm also, I would argue, a spiritual being, loved by God, a sinner saved by grace. And so there's a whole level, a set of levels at which we should regard a human being as a different type of description. None of those levels of description rules out the other levels. They're all simultaneously true and valid and valuable, but they're valuable in different ways. And so it's important to know, the basis of physics. It's important to know the basis of biology. It's important to know about humanity, and it's important to know about things of the spirit. And these do not, any of them, rule out one another.